ambulance would come pick me because I would ring them. I feel like dying again. I'm going to die. I don't want to believe this is spiritual attack. Who have I offended, for crying out loud? Why are they on my case?
You know, when you read the books on like other religions as well, like, is it pretty much the same message?
There was a night I got really suicidal. I said I was going to go kill myself with a knife. Because I mean, I see everyone sleeping and I couldn't sleep.
If you're in like a hostile situation, you'll probably go for something like a fight or
flight, or you freeze. And that's why you find out that when you're not fulfilled and you're thinking, you're worried, oh, what can I do? How can I get out of this space? It's about time for you to take a new path.
When the student is ready, the master will show up.
Must show up, in fact.
See, one of the biggest things that people don't do is think. So this is another skill altogether. It's not thinking of ways to make money. You gotta think, what am I doing with the money I'm making right now? Welcome back to my channel where we discuss property, business, lifestyle and well-being. If this is the first time you are visiting my channel, then please hit the like and subscribe button. So in today's episode we have Sakirat, who has traveled all the way from Kent. Now Sakirat specializes in mindset, stress and anxiety coaching. What she does is she helps females specifically on how to remove your stress in day-to-day life. I really can't wait to speak with her today and just understand what she does. First of all, tell me, what is stress and what is anxiety? And are they the same thing or is it totally two different things?
Well, stress is basically anxiety is a response to stress. Okay. Stress is a trigger of anxiety. If you don't have stress or other triggers, you might not have anxiety. So for you to have anxiety, you must have been triggered by some certain things. By the things you see, maybe you're scared of, of what you've seen, by the things you smell. There has to be a sensation. You have to see it, smell it, taste it, feel it, or even hear it. Like if you hear a scary sound now, or if I try to give you a blow now, you might just, oh my God, come on, don't do that. So there's always a trigger. And when the trigger comes, you have to respond because you're human. It's either you freeze, or you get up to fight, or you flee. Because you feel like you can't counter what is coming, right? So you really want to, either freeze, fight, or freeze when you're triggered. So stress is a trigger, anxiety is the reaction.
Got it. But it depends in the moment, like how you react depends on the situation, right?
Exactly.
So if you're in like a hostile situation, you'll probably go for something like a fight or
flight, or you freeze. So it's either of those three.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
Where does your journey begin? And what's brought you to where you are today? Because right now you're a life coach for stress, anxiety, right?
Well, I'm a mindset coach.
And a mindset coach.
A mindset coach, yeah.
So I'll leave it for you to...
Okay, so the journey basically started 10 years ago, I would say, in business. I'd been in business for 10 years now. Yeah. But speaking about my anxiety and how we all started, that would be about 17 years ago when I was going to write my school leaving certificate exam back in my home country. And, I broke down on the night before the exam, my first paper.
Which country do you come from?
Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria, proud Nigerian anyway. So I had broken down and I couldn't place why I broke down. In fact, I didn't even know it was anxiety that year. I broke down and my parents were worried because I felt like I was going to die that night. I had this palpitation, I had this pounding heart, and my mom was worried like it was the end of my life because I was close to fainting. I had this shallow breath and all that. On the morning of my exam, which was the next day, I got rushed down to the hospital where I was checked, and the doctors felt like I was fine. They checked my BP, checked everything. It looked all normal. I managed to go write my exam with a drip on my hand because they had to pass in some drips, some energy and all that energy drip to give me energy to go through the exam, which I did that day. And getting back home, it got worse even because I would shiver, I would tremble, and the weather would be really hot. So there were some things that didn't really sit well with what was happening. I would tremble, the weather was hot, I would have this pounding heart, I would have palpitation, and it ran into months. I wrote all of my exams from the hospital to the school, to the exam center, back to the hospital. So it was like that. I wrote the entire exam.
So this was due to exam, right?
That year, I didn't know it was due to exam. I didn't know what was happening.
But you were just feeling like...
I was just feeling uneasy, and I was feeling all of those symptoms.
Okay.
My parents were worried. There was no medical diagnosis. And back home in Nigeria, there's a thing with thinking that we have spiritual attack. So at the end of the day, it sounded, or it meant to them as though I was spiritually attacked. And then we sought spiritual help, visited pastors, visited the Muslim clerics to pray for me. And it still didn't go, I still didn't see no difference.
So those that don't know what a spiritual attack is, do you want to explain it like in a basic way?
Okay, spiritual attack is when they feel like, there isn't any medical diagnosis.
Okay.
With what you're going through. And culturally, there's a belief that, there are witches, there are voodoo. Do you understand? And yeah. That's basically what it means. They feel like there are voodoos, and, it can really get on you. So that was the thought that year.
Some invisible aliens, right?
Maybe we should say that. That was the feeling. And yeah. What happened that year, I diverted my mind in a way, because after my exams, I was able to start up fashion school, which kind of diverted me then, and till the time when I got stable. I got stable after like 3 months. So I was in that state for a very long time, for 3 months. I wouldn't be able to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, my mind is always on how I was going to catch the next sleep at night. Would I be able to sleep? Are they coming again? Would I be fearful? Would I sweat? I would be asking questions in my head. And the thoughts would just, engulf my mind the whole day, and I wouldn't be able to concentrate.
How do you feel, though, at this point? Like, did you know that something wasn't right with you, sitting right? Because I can only imagine, imagine if I'm just really stressed and overwhelmed and, always coming up with how did you feel? Did you know something was going on, or were you unaware at this point?
Physically, I had physical stress because I couldn't eat, and I was losing weight. And again, I tremble a lot. Like sitting down, I would just be trembling as though I had Parkinson's disease.
Okay.
And another thing I can remember is my heart was always pounding, as though it was going to stop the next minute. And what other physical symptoms can I remember? Yeah, my appetite, my sleep was another thing. I couldn't sleep long hours.
Right.
Because once I jump on the bed, once I have my shower and I want to jump on the bed, I begin to tremble. And I was stuck in the year when I was just 16 years. So what could I be probably thinking about? I didn't have a business. I didn't have no work. I was just leaving secondary school then. So I couldn't really place what was wrong, coupled with the fact that medically there was no diagnosis. Coupled with the fact that environmental factors, you could think that, oh, maybe a spell has been casted upon her. And that's, in fact, during that year when I was writing my exams, a couple of friends were saying that I had HIV/AIDS.
HIV/AIDS?
Yeah, because I'd lost so much weight during my exams.
Yeah.
I'd lost weight. I didn't look myself.
Just so I understand, where does HIV/AIDS come from?
So it's an immune virus.
Okay.
When someone suffers from it,
yeah,
your immune system is down.
Okay.
You would lose weight, you would lose emaciated, and it was easy for people to think that you had HIV because that was how I looked. I looked really horrible. I don't have pictures at the moment, but I can place my hand on the pictures, and if you saw the picture, you would really feel sorry for me. My eyes were sunken, and I wasn't myself. I didn't know how I wrote my exam, but I usually give credit to my friend, Mayowa Balogun. I can't forget her. She was there for me during the exams. always telling me, just go for it, just do your best.
Yeah.
Just do your, and I went through it, and I came out well. Like I did well with the exams.
So I was going to ask you, so how did you, because that seems like a severe type of an anxiety or whatever it was, and how did you come out at the other end then, where you started getting better and, improving?
Okay, so like I said, after the exams, which was the first month that I started feeling the symptoms, I started doing fashion. I started learning fashion designing.
Okay.
And that kind of diverted my mind. Yeah, I think that kind of diverted my mind that year. I was focusing much more on the fashion school now.
Were you a bit more
after my
happier?
exams? So I started to get happier. I started to get more relieved. And that was, like I said, that was about 17 years ago in 2006. Again, in 2020, I had another one, which was really severe. This time I would be in the William Harvey Hospital, in and out. The ambulance would come pick me because I would ring them. I feel like dying again. I'm going to die. They would come and they would check me, take me to the A&E. The doctors would get to check me and nothing was going on. They really could not place anything. So I had to go back home again. I had to travel back home to Nigeria again. And when I got to Nigeria, the same thing. We went on medics and all. Nothing. It was just like the same episode coming back again long years after that. And this time, I said to my dad, I said, I'm going to go back to London. I'm flying back to London. Whatever happens, happens. If I was going to die, let me go and die. Because I don't want to believe this is spiritual attack. Who have I offended, for crying out loud? Why are they on my case? So I don't want to believe this is a spiritual attack. There has to be something behind this. Maybe medically, I just needed to figure it out. I've heard about anxiety. I've heard about mental illnesses. I'm talking about anxiety. Anxiety is not actually a mental illness. It doesn't even happen in the head. But I'll come to that. So I went back to Nigeria, and back in Nigeria, I told my dad, you know what, if they cannot get things right medically, if there is no any medical diagnosis, whatever it is, whatever you want to term it, I'm going back to my family. Let me go and die. If I was going to die, let me go and die in the hands of my children. So I flew back to London. The insomnia got worse. I'd seen a doctor. I'd seen a psychiatrist back home in Nigeria before I left, who had told me that this looks like a general anxiety disorder.
Right.
That was the first time I had a name to what was going on with me. That was the first time. So I went to read more on it. I, did research on it, and then I found that, this was what's been happening. It was general anxiety disorder the whole time. It wasn't even spiritual attack. So I needed to just start walking in the journey and see how I can recover myself. So I opened up my mind that I wanted to get a solution. I can't keep living like this because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
There was a night I got really suicidal. I said I was going to go kill myself with a knife because I see everyone sleeping and I couldn't sleep. I barely slept 3 hours a night, and that went into like months. The same thing. I had been sunken. I'd lost a lot of weight. I didn't like how I looked. I couldn't focus any longer on work. My sexual libido was all gone. Was totally gone. I didn't feel alive again. Yeah, I couldn't even cater for my kids. My husband was doing everything. I felt like I was going to die. The only thing I usually air in my head, day in, day out, was your dying son. Kira, your dying son. That was what rang in my head every time. And it was really terrible. It looked as if I was staring at death, but it wouldn't come, but it was discomforting. So until I got out of it, and how did I get out of it?
So my question was how did you get out of that sort of depression or that sort of a really bad place in your life?
So I met a coach, Charles Linden.
Okay.
And I took his coaching course, and he walked me out of anxiety. In 3 weeks, he did.
Really?
It did. Because first of all, I needed to know what was happening with my body. See, with everything you want to do in life, it has to start with the awareness of what's going on. And what can be. Do you understand? So the awareness to know what was going on with my body system and what I could do about it was the thing that I needed to hear. Sometimes it's just one little answer you need to hear that changes everything for you. And that was me in that case. I registered for the course. I heard about the knowledge. It walked me through some procedures. I followed through. I was consistent on the journey. And yes, I walked out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are the if someone's suffering from like a really bad place in terms of anxiety, like the way you did, or even closer, what is the first step? Like you said, awareness. What else do they need to do to basically snap out of it?
So basically, you need to know what's going on with your body system. And secondly, you have to consistently manage yourself. You need to know what kind of body type you have. For me, I got to realize that I have an adrenal body type, which means adrenal body type.
What's that?
Which means your body triggers the release of adrenaline easily. Adrenaline is an hormone. It's an hormone it's an hormone, and when your body releases it, it works on your brain and on your heart, and you begin to feel palpitation. You have high blood pressure. Your pulse increases, and it happens anytime, because at every point in life, there are times when you will fall into anxiety. It might not be a serious anxiety. It might just be one that needs you to just quickly respond to it, and then you snap out of it.
Okay.
But an anxiety that goes into 2 weeks, months, then years, it would be so discomforting. You need to know what's causing that, and you need to manage it efficiently. Otherwise, it could cripple you, because it puts you in a state where you're basically thinking about, negative things. And the more you think about negative things, the more you're reacting, the more you're feeling funny and uncomfortable.
So it's about understanding what you're like in terms of in a situation where it's really tough for you, like how you react to things. So you have to understand that, right?
You have to understand, because if you have an adrenal body type, you will worry a lot. It's just you will worry a lot. And when you worry, even if you don't have an adrenal body type, there are situations that get you worried. Maybe your business is not going well, life isn't going well for you. You might just want to get worried about things that, even the worry cannot solve it.
Yeah.
Until you find out a sustainable solution, which is one thing I learned when I also registered for the course to get myself out of anxiety. So I would say to have a knowledge about it, about what anxiety is, to have a knowledge about your body type, so you can give it the right training and the right stress and mind management is really important.
So someone who just doesn't have a clue about these things, how would they even start? They might not even know this for years, right?
I didn't know for years myself.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So if you feel like you're having any funny symptoms and you've sought help medically and there isn't any difference, you might also want to check your body type. And the best way to check your body type is you yourself know what you're thinking about. You want to see if you always find yourself overthinking things. If you overthink things, you might fall into anxiety easily. If you don't get control over your mind, you might fall into anxiety easily, because you're usually attached to people, to environment, to the lifestyle. And when those things are no longer there, you might begin to react. You will begin to react in a funny way, and it will lead you to anxiety. And anxiety, if it is not managed quickly or rightly, can lead to depression.
So do you offer that service to people where if they came to you, they could literally, if they're suffering from stress or anxiety, if they came to you, literally know step 1, step 2, how to diagnose it, how to figure out what body type they are, and then what they should do, right?
Yes, so if you come to me, you have anxiety, I have to have a one-on-one conversation with you. I want to know what's going on with your life. I want to know what got you here. Have you lost a loved one recently? What's your environment like? How is your body type like? I want to know, have you been managing fears and worries? I want to know how you've been, do you have a plan about yourself, about your life? Because many times as an anxiety sufferer, if you don't have plans, you would always be anxious. Because many of the times you'll be doing a lot of things together, multitasking, doing 2-3 businesses together. For someone who has anxiety or who suffers from anxiety, would not be the best approach. So I need to get to know what's going on with you, with your life. Otherwise, I don't want to recommend something that is not of best fit for you.
Do you think that people these days need to have a coach or mentor to improve, or do you think that they can just read books and they just figure it out? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thought on reading books and figuring it out, well, it's good, but I always tell people, if you want to go far in life, you have to go with people. If you want to go alone, it's okay to go alone. It's okay to be independent. But it's not okay to, you can't really go far if you're going all by yourself. You can go fast, but not far. So I don't think that reading book alone is enough. Go with the right people who are experienced, who have felt the same thing.
Who've suffered
who've suffered the same thing. Because, even the doctors, they didn't really suffer these things. Most of the time, they read it in book. in books.
Yeah.
When you suffer it, you can relate on a personal level, with another sufferer. And that way you're able to also recommend the best things to do for the sufferer.
Yeah. Because you're in the business now of mindset and stress and anxiety. Like, do you get clients who, like, I suppose everyone I know, like, everyone suffers from stress and anxiety at some point, right? Or at, some stage. Do you think it's to do with, like, eating bad and lifestyle as well?
Well, lifestyle is a thing, but basically, no matter who you are, whether you've suffered from anxiety before or not, whether you realize that there's anxiety exists, you've got to have a plan with your life. You've got to be clear on who you are and what you want to be, and who you want to be, what you want to create. Otherwise, you're going to be, whatever shows up in life, you're just going to be going with the flow, rather than being in control, rather than being the architect behind what you really want to create with your life. So my thought on that is, whoever you are, you need to get ready to create the life that you want, that you want to have. Know when you need to go slow, know when you need to move, know when you have to action things, and know when your body demands rest. For a workaholic, when you call them out for holidays or for hangouts, they don't want to go. I was there. I used to be there because I worked a lot and always getting busy, but I wasn't productive because that wasn't where I wanted to see myself. I would work and work, and I didn't get to where I wanted to see myself. So until the time when I started having, became visionary about my life and started taking the right actions, working with the right circle, having the right mindset. And I got to know that the best thing I can have in my life is not my luxuries, it's not my wares, it's not the house, it's not the whatever. The best thing that I could have in life is to have a control over my mind. If I lose everything in life, I don't want to lose my mind. Yeah.
So what are the top tips that you can give to somebody, for example, if they're literally involved in something which they don't want to be involved in? What would be the first thing or the second thing they can do just to snap out of it quickly? Like, how do they compose themselves? Like, just take a breather or drink some water or?
There's a whole lot of routine. It has to become a routine. It has to become a lifestyle. I wouldn't say, okay, number one, drink water. Number two, do this.
Yeah.
But I usually teach a method that allows you get happy daily. Get your happiness daily. And I'm not talking happiness that is dependent on the number of businesses you make a day. Or on the number of friends that you were able to connect with daily. I'm talking of a deep-seated happiness that comes from within. It's so deep happiness, right? That's the kind of happiness. And, the method I teach is of the mind, is of you getting control of your mind, using your words to speak into your day, and different other routine, like affirmation. That affirmation is just an icing on the cake, I would say. The real work is to, become that person that can speak life, that can speak existence into yourself. And I'm not talking about speaking in terms of speaking. Becoming that person is, you need to do some work. For instance, you need to get in charge of your mind. You need to be in control over your mind. For instance, your morning routine, what you do in the morning determines the kind of energy you're going to have. And it also determines the kind of productivity you're going to have in the day. Because how you start your day really matters.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, do you think that a morning routine is just vital for everybody to have a good morning routine?
It's vital for everyone.
Yeah.
And especially anyone who wants to be in control of their life. The morning routine is important because every blessed day results into blessed weeks and then blessed months, blessed life, and it becomes a lifestyle.
So what is your morning routine?
Every single day when I get up to a bottle of water by my side.
Yeah.
I drink that, jump out of bed. Once I wake, I try to jump out of bed. I'm not sitting there thinking about anything. I wake up already saying, oh, I'm excited today. I'm good. I'm already blessing my day.
Yeah.
5 things I do in the morning when I wake up in the first hour of wake. Or maybe sometimes 1 hour, 30 minutes of wake.
So you do 5 things every day?
Yeah.
Right, go on.
I pray.
Okay.
I do my affirmations.
Yeah.
I journal.
Yeah.
I move. And when I say movement, that's in terms of exercise. I move, and finally, I do my mental exercise. That's like visualization.
Okay.
So those 5 things, I must do them every day in the morning.
Every single day, yeah?
I must, every single day. I must.
So if you don't do them, does that have an impact on the rest of your day?
Yeah, it does, because there's a way my subconscious already knows that something hasn't gone wrong. Something has gone wrong, rather. You know, the way you get up and you want to brush your teeth, you don't have to think about it, do you? It's already automated in your system. So it's the same way that I get up to know that I have to do it. I have to do my morning routine. So my mental exercise, I do it in the shower. So, of course, I get to bathe in the morning. So I do my mental exercise in the shower, because it's kind of visualization, thinking about my life, thinking about my plans, grateful for what's to come, you know. It's a routine and it's a lifestyle for me already.
So this morning routine, like how long does it roughly take you?
For me, it takes around an hour or a few minutes over an hour. For some people, I don't know how long it takes. I'm a Muslim, and the way I pray,
that takes 15
minutes. 10-15 minutes, I'm done with my salah.
Yeah.
So it depends on who you are. Some people can pray all the day. But since the day I got a vision for my life, my prayers are so simple.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm showing up for my vision. Bless me. Because everything I want to achieve in my life is already into my vision. So I can't begin to mention, I want brand new clothes. I want a brand new business. I want a brand new, I know everything is already there. But we have different people.
Yep.
But I tell you, once you have a vision for your life, your prayer points are going to be really minimal.
Yeah.
So it's quick for me to do my morning routine, quick to do my prayers, quick to do my affirmations, quick to do my journaling. It's just my number one vision for life and my morning affirmation. And my exercise, I do yoga most of the time and meditation, chakra meditation. And the reason is because for an anxiety sufferer or for an adrenal body type, meditation and mindfulness is number one for you, because it allows you to be in control of your mind. It's you putting your thoughts on your breath. So it allows me to be in control. So I usually recommend that much more for adrenal body types than treadmill or running.
Yoga?
Yeah, yoga.
Okay.
I do yoga, I do chakra, I do meditation and mindfulness. That's the best one for an adrenal body type.
Really?
Yeah. Because if you do treadmill or running, you agitate the heart so much, isn't it? And then it doesn't really come to rest easily. During the day, I feel some sort of trigger again, and I don't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel that way.
Is it important to have an evening routine as well?
I have an evening routine as well. I have an evening routine.
So what's your evening routine?
Gratitude journaling. If I don't do anything at all at night, before I sleep, I have to journal 5 things that I am grateful for every day.
Really?
Yeah.
On that day?
Or every day.
Okay.
I've been doing that for over a year now.
So you literally write it down,
right?
right?
five things. Sometimes it runs up to up to 10 sometimes.
I think you should sell like a journaling book. You know, part of your course.
You
do because it's connected, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody joins on, you can say, well, I've created the perfect journaling book for you.
Yeah, I can do that.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like a routine for the day, because you see this daily routine, apart from your morning routine and your rituals in the evening, what about the day in between? Because you don't also want to leave a gap between that day. The energy has to flow from how you woke up to how you showed up at work to how you finished today, and then sleep with, because when you sleep again and you're having hallucinations in your dream, it has to do with whatever you had thought about before you crashed on the bed. So everything has to be in alignment. The flow has to go, and it has to become a lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely. And is that your future plans now, just to continue with your life coaching and then eventually just mindset coaching, and then are you going to put on events as well in UK, or what's your plans?
Yeah, I've got
Because you've got to expand, right?
Yeah, I've got plans to do that. This is me now, because I feel like so peaceful these days, knowing who I am and knowing what I want to do and how I want to do it. So I've got this clarity, and that's one of the things chakra does for me as well. In the middle of the meditation, I'm able to ask for intuition. You see, the way we speak to God through prayers, there's a way God speaks to us through our intuition. And for me, it comes to me a lot, either in the shower or during my chakra.
Yeah.
So I have that plan, of course, to carry people along. I mean, what's the point if you have results, or you have things that you have the information that can get people results, and you just kind of keep it to yourself? I don't feel fulfilled that way. I love to share. I'm raised, because my dad is still alive anyway. I was raised by a father who loves to give.
Yeah.
Even sometimes at his own detriment. That's the part I don't like. But he doesn't know. He just feel like, I just want to do it. I feel happy doing it. It doesn't matter.
It's normal to him, yeah.
It's normal to him. But because I was raised by that father, I had also had that put in my subconscious that giving is just a regular thing. So if I cannot give in cash, I would be able to give information that will help people.
Yeah, serve, right? It's all about serving, isn't it?
That's it.
Service and serving. And
yeah.
I feel like people serve and they don't even know that they serve.
Exactly.
But they're just not aware of it until you bring it to their attention,
Especially when it's already a part of their life. For me, I could start coaching you now. I've probably been coaching you since we've been having this conversation, but I wouldn't know. I just love to share everything that has helped me.
Yeah.
Because I know that it would help others too.
Yeah, definitely. So, because I know so many people that they're just not happy in what they're doing, right? What's your process of helping them figure out what they should do and what they shouldn't do, in life, what they want to do? Like, how do you have a process for that as well?
Yeah, I have something that I do. I have a course that looks into fear to fulfillment.
Yeah.
And what that actually does is it looks at people who are not fulfilled in terms of their life's purpose. You know it if you have fulfillment.
Yeah.
If you're true to yourself, you feel it that something is missing.
Yeah, you're not doing what you're supposed to do,
and
right?
until you have, figured out what's missing in the puzzle, you're never going to get rest for your life.
Yeah.
So I have a program here. It's called Becoming More. It's a program that helps you figure out what your life's true purpose is so that you can begin to work in the journey of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be working.
I think everyone needs to do that.
Everyone needs to, because a lot of people, in fact, higher percentage of people are going to, it's not a curse, it's just like almost natural. They're going to go or leave the earth without fulfilling their purpose. Some are never going to get
people.
Yeah, some are never going to get aware that there's something like that. Some will be aware that there's something like that, but they will be engulfed with fear to go for it.
Yeah.
Some will go for it, but will give up because of the stress they encounter on the way. But some will go for it, encounter the stress, become rock solid in mind, in body, in spirit, in soul, and still give it their all to get to where they want to be. And that's why I want you and I to be. And that's where I want people around me to be. And that's why I do what I'm doing.
Yeah. Not everyone's made from that cloth, though, are they?
Yeah, no, not everyone. Not everyone. Not everyone who starts the journey finishes it.
Yeah. Why is that, though? Why?
I think it's just natural. Everyone, because if we're all the same, the life is just going to be bland. There's no variety, there's no sauce, there's no spice. We need that spice in life. Yeah, and again, it will be like a sort of altruism if you want to enforce people to do what they don't want to do. Because I have the mindset knowledge, doesn't mean if you want it, I'll give it to you. If you don't want it, I can't force it on you. It has to be it has to come from your mind. It has to be what you wish for.
Yeah, you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped,
Exactly. Right? The decision has to start with you saying, yes, the time is now. I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to do the work. So it has to start with you.
Give me a few tips or something. Like if someone's literally working right now and just lying to themselves that they're not really happy, how would they know that they need to snap out of this place quick?
They're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And if you feel so comfortable with where you are, then it's okay. Keep going. But if you know that there's a next new level with your name on it and you really want to go for it, you will seek help. You just have to seek help. And the major reason you find a lot of people in depression is because they're not speaking up enough. They're not speaking up enough. There used to be a time when I'm not so highly communicative. I know I've got these things in my head, but I'm just not communicating as much as I need to do, as I needed to do. And it was already also telling on me. And another thing I think I realized is anxiety might be a sign that it's time for you to change course. It might be a sign. Yeah, because I remember that.
You mean change
course, change direction, take a new step. Yeah, take a new path. And that's why you find out that when you're not fulfilled and you're thinking, you're worried, oh, what can I do? How can I get out of this space? It's about time for you to take a new path. So you need to be opened up. And there's a saying that when the student is ready, the master usually shows up, right? So the moment you open your mind to say, oh, I need solution, and
I like that.
And keep opening up, the master will show up.
When the student is ready, the master will show up.
Must show up, in fact.
I like it.
Yeah. And when the student is actually ready indeed to start getting the master's teaching, the master will disappear because the student is now ready to do what? To take actions.
Yeah. I love that. With some of your mentees, like when they come to you, what are the a few issues that you see with them, like the common theme of the things that you see?
Fear.
Fear. Really?
Yeah, fear. Fear of not knowing who they are, or fear of not wanting to come out of their comfort zone. Fear of, what if I start? Would I lose? Fear of, what are people going to say? Criticism. Fear of, if I try and I don't get it done, would I not look like a failure? It's okay to fail. I mean, failure is part of success. So it's okay. We just need to have, when you begin to change the way you see things, the things you're seeing will change.
Yeah.
When you change the way you see things, those things will change as well. So you need to start seeing yourself not as a separate entity from others or from the universe. Start seeing yourself as being as one with the universe, such that when problem happens, the problem is not yours alone, it's of the universe. And when you want to seek solution, it's not your solution alone, it's of the universe. So you need to start seeing yourself being at one with the universe. From that perspective of thought, you will begin to get results. You begin to get answers to whatever it is you're seeking. But one thing that is common amongst many of the people that come to me for mentorship, for coaching, is fear. And that's one thing I usually look out for. If you've got fear, I am happy because that's my expertise. I want to break those fear for you into pieces. I want to help you see yourself more. I want to help you see that you carry light that will brighten so many dark rooms of the world. I want to see you walking in that light. I want to see you walking in that space. Becoming so confident in terms of your mindset, your skill, your circle. Do you understand? That's my thing. That's what I love doing. I want to analyze all the fear that you have, break them down, and look at what we need to do to eliminate those fears and let you walk in the journey of life.
Yeah, that's so good. And where have you learned all this from, though? Are you, because you've suffered it yourself, literally? I think that's the best teacher, right?
The best teacher is experience. I experienced it, and that year it was, those years, because it was long, it was for a long time. It was really uncomfortable, but everything comes to show up to teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
You might not know it at that time because it's really uncomfortable, but just be patient with yourself. Be patient with the journey. It's come to teach us a lesson. Pick the lesson and flow with it. I picked the lessons from the experience, the things I felt, how I felt. I didn't let that just slide out of me. I packaged that together to know that this right here is happening to so many people out there and they need results. They need to come out of it. And I package these things, I package my teachings, my coaching to also help people snap out of that situation. Because it's going to put their lives on a hold. They won't fully express. And every human being must fully express.
Nice. So how many hours or how long do you spend on personal development or just constantly learning more stuff every day or every week? Like, how do you do it?
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh my God. One thing I know that is my superpower is learning and implementing.
Okay.
A lot of people learn and just put it in the corner of their mind or in the corner of their, I learn to implement almost immediately. If I've learned any new skills now, I want to put that to test. What's working, what's not working. If I've learned any new strategy, I want to put that to test. So I learn every day. If I get to speak to you in 2 days' time about my journey again, there will be loads of expansion in the things I'm going to tell you about because I read every day.
How long do you read every day for, or how long do you spend on?
An hour every day.
An hour every day?
An hour every day. I read an hour every day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's either in the
night.
night.
So you read an hour, yeah?
Yeah. I've read today. Today I was reading about the Buddhism. I'm so spiritual in nature, but I'm not religious. By religion, I'm Muslim, but I roll with everybody because we are one.
Yeah,
Buddhism, Christian, Islam, we have this one pure heart that we just need to operate from a space of knowing that we are one.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of Muslim that discriminates.
Yeah.
So I learn a lot, learn about different religion, read the Bible, read the Quran. Today I was reading a book on Buddhism.
Is it, you know, when you read the books on like other religions as well,
Yeah.
like, is it pretty much the same message?
So far, I've learned a lot about Islam. I've learned a lot about Christianity. Recently, I've started learning about Buddhism, and I've been seeing that everything goes down to, living a life of love, living a life of peace. And Islam, you must know that is a religion of peace.
Yeah, yeah.
So Christianity is a religion of peace. Buddhism, I haven't read about it. I can see that it's a religion of peace. So it's just the practice that might be different. But in terms of the end result, we're all preaching peace. So I see that as the same.
Love and peace, right?
Peace, loving peace. How can you be that peace? I am peace. You are peace. How can you be that peace?
Yeah,
Is what they're talking about.
That's so good, that. So, you know, your coaching, can you tell everyone about your coaching? Like, how do they get in touch with you, and what sort of like things do you offer? Do you have something for beginners and advanced people as well? Like, tell everybody about like how they get in touch with you, and, you know, what you offer. Because I know you've got a few packages, right?
Mm-hmm. So basically right now,
yeah,
I have packages that looks at breaking free from fear. And that's for people who are suffering from anxiety, people who are not self-confident, or people who are living unfulfilled. They're not fulfilled about their journey of life or with life. I have a course towards that. And I have another course that helps you start and scale your business, the right mindset to help you start and scale your business. So if you are looking to start a business, or you've been trying to scale the business for quite a while and you don't know what next thing to do, you've been struggling, I also have a course towards that. It also speaks about the mindset and working from a space of intention and purpose, right? But yeah, I have those packages going on. And if people want to contact me, the best way to contact me is by email or maybe on Instagram. You send me a DM, or you go on my bio, you would see my links there to connect with me.
And what we'll do is we'll put your Instagram and all your details and all our descriptions below.
Yes.
Because that will be the best thing to do, because then they can just reach out to you directly, don't they?
Exactly.
So in terms of business, when you said business, what do you teach people about business?
It's the mindset.
Okay.
Finding your true purpose. Everybody has got a gift put in them by God. In fact, God has said it that the best way you can serve God, the best way you can serve me, is by serving my people. Is by serving people. Is by serving, humanity. That's the best service you can give to God. It's not by you showing up in the church and the mosque 20 hours a day, 10 hours a night. Go out there and serve people. And how can you serve people? God has also given you that thing you need to serve people, which is your gift. You can sing, you can dance, you can preach, you can teach, you can learn, you can push, you can motivate, you can, nurture. Whatever it is, your gift is. Everyone has a superpower. Some even have more superpowers. For me, like I said, I love to learn and implement. It's a superpower for me. Not everybody can stay to read for a long time. I can do that. Not long as in long, but I'm always enthusiastic to learn new things. That's one of my superpowers. I know you've got your superpowers. The viewers have got their superpowers. You just need to identify that.
I like that, superpowers, right?
Yeah, you just need to identify that and work from that space, knowing that what you've got is not of yours alone, but of God. Because if you walk from that space, knowing that what you have is of God, and God has instructed you to use that superpowers to serve people, you will serve confidently. There won't be any fear of what are people going to say, will people criticize me, I was worried about myself in the past years, thinking about, how do I want to transition from an event designer into a coach? But the moment I begin to see the strength, the power, the glory, the blessings that I carry, it all flows naturally. Because I know what I'm doing is not mine, it's of God. And I'm not doing it all by myself. God is involved like 100%.
Yep, definitely.
So from that space, you can really serve.
Yeah, so what about, do you invest in properties, or do you, what other investments do you do?
I've invested, last year I invested in a property.
Okay.
Buy to rent. And I did a course with Jazz Rose, the money master himself. And
you invested with him?
Yeah, I invested in a course with him.
Okay.
Yeah, the money master himself. And that, of course, one thing I took away from that course is how you can master your money. And how you can, I never really knew how to save as such. When I have money, I just want to, of course, give my parents, my business, yes, my kids, and then just give people. But now I'm I'm super skilled about how you need to manage money. The percentages you need to use on your expenses, on new businesses, on saving, on reinvestment. I'm super clear about that, and that's also been guiding.
So what would you say to someone, like, if not indeed give details, but like if you had to tell somebody, like, save, for example, 10% or 50% or 20%, how should they categorize it?
Okay, so for your expenses, it has to be 50%. Your savings.
So what do you mean 50%? So let's just say if you're earning, let's just say you're earning £1,000 a week.
If you're earning £1,000 a week, your expenses, I mean, you have to look at your expenses first. I wouldn't know what your expenses are, but your basic expenses, like you need to cut off some things. If you're making £1,000 a week, you need to cut off some things that are not important to you, like taking fizzy drinks or, doing cinema, jumping on some subscriptions that will not help you. Cut all that out first.
Right.
Ensure that you have a percentage that covers your expenses. And then whatever savings you have, no matter how small, invest that maybe into a course, into yourself, into a new business.
Yeah, so if they're earning £1,000 a week, how much should be expenses and how much should they save and how much should they reinvest? Or give me a little breakdown.
So I really cannot tell you this is how much you must spend on your expenses.
No, like roughly speaking.
But if you have $1, like something I learned from Ivan Tapia is if you have $1, 50% of it should look after your expenses. 10% of it should look into your business investment rather. Another 10% should go into reinvestment. If you already have a business, reinvest 10% back into that same business.
Yeah.
10% has to go into savings, save some money. 10% has to go to family, donation, charity. 10% has to go into that. And the last 10% has to go into you, your personal care. People don't do that.
That's
personal care is very important. Take care of your mind, your soul, your spirit, your body. Go for yoga, go for massage. Take care of your petty, your money, your hair, your looks, whatever it is that you want, you love, you like. Take care of that.
Personal care, right?
Personal care. So that's how you need to break down all of your, $1. So if you think that you want to have more money to save, more money to invest, more money to do personal care, then you increase your income. Increase your income, increase your impact, increase your income.
Yeah. So 50% on cost.
Yeah.
10% on saving.
Yeah.
10% personal care. 10% on your business.
Yeah.
Then
to reinvest in your business that you've started.
Yeah, and what was the other 10%?
10% is to invest in something new. It could be trading. It could be, whatever.
Just learn a new thing.
Learn a new thing. Sometimes it could even be like investing in yourself as an asset. Maybe join a masterclass. Maybe join a coaching call. Something that would help you become more, to add more to your business or to add more to your life, whatever it is you want to manifest. But yes, that's the percentage. 50% to cost, 10% to savings, 10% to invest in the existing business, 10% into another business, 10% to family, savings, family, donations, charity, and 10% to, what have we not mentioned? Did
self-care.
Then self-care, right?
Yeah,
that's it. So self-care, investment, reinvestment, savings, family, donation, charity, and then your real costs.
Yeah. Well, I know that you'll be a massive help to people because I personally know someone like that works with you closely, and you're nothing but a help. So I feel like if anybody is out there and they're suffering from these sort of issues, stress and anxiety, then reach out, and we will put her details all in the description below. And you drove all the way from where from? Kent today. That's what, 4-hour drive, right?
Yeah, 5 hours.
5 hours drive. But you're here with your husband.
Yeah.
And my kids. So
yeah.
you're going to have a little tour around Manchester.
Yeah, let's go to Old Trafford. Let's go to Etihad. Let's have fun.
So, hopefully you have a good time. And I just want to say thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I feel
it's
like
been amazing.
It's been good. You've shared your journey, and I can't wait for people to learn something from this.
Yeah, I can't wait to pour all of myself into people, honestly.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.